really the exemption is from the water testing protocol.
Right. It's the water testing
having to go
protocol.
out and drill, 4 or 5 wells, whatever the number is.
Right. But there's a reason for that.
Right.
It's not like we just made that up.
Right.
We would prefer that everybody do that.
Correct.
And so this is something that.
But if you look at conformity to the science that's been applied to the land use planning in the town of Goshen, I mean, they're in the AQ3 overlay.
Mm-hmm.
They're substantially below what is permitted under the AQ3 overlay. So they're well under that wire. They've done well testing for the health of the land.
I hear you.
They've drilled wells, they've done testing. I mean, there's adequate water out there, and we all know there's water out there. I mean, that's no secret.
Oh, I don't know that. I mean, I don't. Okay. Okay, what does the board think on this one? Okay.
I'll take a crack at it instead of looking at each other here. I mean, it's not a really big issue, but I was thinking more along the lines of closing the amount of time, not the 12 months as we did with the other, and give them an extension. Just phase 2, phase 3, right? Phase 1 is
done.
We're kind of locked in. Once we get to phase 2 and phase 3, and do it for some shorter period of time.
The problem I see is,
You turned it off.
the difference that I see is, there's no plan for phase 1 or phase 2.
Phase 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
Right.
In the previous one, you said we will take 1 year, we'll build the road, then we'll start building the other road, blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's a plan to get it completed within a certain period of time. On this one, they're going to complete phase 1, and there's no plan for phase 2. So if they ask us for an extension of 2 months, 5 months, 9 months, 37 months, there's no reason why. If you said they need a year's extension because they're doing the roads and demolition and this and that, well, I understand that. I'm just looking for the plan rather than just give a blanket extension for no reason. With the other one there was a reason. I mean, they had a plan. Am I making any sense?
You certainly are.
Steve, this one here, I honestly feel, just from what I hear and what you said, I really feel if you gave them an extension, they'd be coming back for another one, because they're not really builders. That's what I heard. It's going to take them a while to get these 6 done, but it's not like the Feeney's and so forth. They're going to move. They're builders. They're going to do what they have to do. I think they're going to be back again for another year extension. I really feel it. If we give it, they'll never make it, but that's just my feeling. That's the pulse on.
Well, I think that,
and I shouldn't prejudge.
And again, the local law 4 is very, the language is, this board has the authority to grant that extension. I mean, if you grant a 6-month or a 9-month extension to the owners, it doesn't mean that you have to grant another one. And I think that, given, I'm confident that, things will pick up and, they'll be able to move along. But I think that, because what that does is it gives them the additional 6 or 9 months plus the year to file that. So I mean, you're really looking at over a year and a half of breathing room, for them to get that map signed and filed.
I'm going to go on record saying I just can't see an extension on this one. I don't know what the rest of the board feel.
I understand the applicant is really actually requesting this so they don't have to do any improvements because the other 2 are going to be cul-de-sacs, right? Plus, they would be under the old water protocols. Those are the 2 rationales, and probably throw in the economy as well, right?
And they also would be protected against any further zoning changes. Well,
yeah, I mean,
more of a philosophical concern to me. I'm not saying you haven't contemplated, but if there was some new theory developed and you wanted to make your code again, they would be protected against any new revisions.
Well, and that's what I think was sort of what Lou was saying. I mean, this could go on and on and on and on.
Yeah, that's why, again, whether it's a control date or some finality, it's up to the board, and what's your philosophy.
But you could very easily give them an extension, and if they don't deliver, it ends.
All right, well, we can go 6 months,
In their hands.
and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think, well, just talking out loud, you probably have an applicant who is limited in terms of development ability.
I know.
Right,
Limited
we
in terms
know.
of money, and it's not criticism.
No.
They really don't know what they're gonna do.
Right.
They got final for what they're ready for, they're gonna hope to bootstrap or financially carry that forward on the other lots, and they're just trying to develop their land. And it's a question of, you, again, staying in the loop, controlling it, and not having this 20 years from now jump up and be like, well, we're subject to the zoning back in 2010. You know, that's...
I'll be fair.
So how many months are we talking about
I'll
here?
be fair.
6.
I'll vote for 9 months.
9 months?
Okay.
I'll be fair.
Well, I think okay.
So, the same thing for Thursday? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, everybody can speak for themselves,
Yeah.
that they get a 9-month extension, and we would have some type of a
Resolution.
on Thursday.
I feel the same.
Yeah.
But on this one, though, I think that when they come back in 9 months, we're gonna need more of a plan than what we got now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Extending your conditional.
Well, we're conditional final on the first phase, we're
Okay.
gonna file. That's, because there's no improvements, but it's phases 2. This one will be for phases 2 and 3.
Okay.
For the extension for the exemption.
We'll do that for Thursday at, okay. Now we're to the Heritage Estates.
The Heritage Estates is located on Old Chester Road and Brookside Drive. Received conditional preliminary approval on July 17th, 2007. There were 67 conditions that were had to be satisfied for final approval. This does not mean that conditional final approval can't be granted. However, I have to point out that 31 of these conditions require no action at all. So it's not as though it's an exorbitant amount and geez, they're sitting on it. 31 of these, this is the way you're going to do it. Kind of like that. You're going to have granite curbing or something. Okay, so 31 of these are just conditions that are going to move forward to final approval no matter what.
And have the other 36 been addressed by the builder?
Five of these conditions. Okay, you beat me to the punch, but okay. 5 of these conditions require government action, either
Right.
uniform or district and those kind of things.
Okay.
And there was one, I will say this, that I think I surprised Steve with this the other night, that there was a requirement of the planning board to actually take some action. We have to hire a bog turtle expert and have them investigate one of the wetlands. So we did approve that, or not we, the planning board did approve that the other night. I did send letters out to some consultants, and we expect to do that this season. And that is a seasonal thing. It can only be done April, May, and June. So it will not be done before April, May, and June. So I would expect that at that point, then we'll go get a response.
How about okay, they're still in 26. You take 31, you take 5, and then...
Now, there are 31 other conditions that did require some action on part of the applicant. I did not really go through all of them. I know he has done a number of those. Some of them were that he had to prove that he was not going to have houses above the ridge top and stuff like that. The applicant has made action on a number of those. I also need to point out that as far as outside agencies, this is the most complicated project you have in front of you. This application is the one that requires to have a community water system. It also requires a community sewer system of some sort. So it's a decision that the applicant has to make, and then also the planning board, the town board, I'm sorry.
Right.
So it is one of the most complicated you're looking at as far as conditions and as far as things that the applicant does have to do. And he did meet some of those, though certainly not all of those 31.
And a lot of those other outstanding conditions have to do with the regulatory agencies. When I was here, I believe a month and a half ago or 2 months ago, we had half a dozen things that we needed to talk to this board about, and we need some closure on those. But we've also made joint application. We met with the DEC back in 2007. We made our joint application permit back in our joint pre-submission conference back in December 2007. We made our application in October of 2008. We finally received our comments 8 months later, and then resubmitted last month. And we anticipate really the comments, although it took us a while to get them, they were really minor in nature. So we expect to have those complete application hopefully within the next 60 days with the regulatory agencies. Those are water taking permits or speedies permit for a sanitary disposal sewer plant. We've looked at the sewer plant with them, and this board knows, we've been working with this board with regards to investigating potential for a regional plant. We've been asked to be patient with the intermunicipal agreement between